Hello, everybody. This is Nick Totero, Professor of Information Technologies and Computer Science, Lakeland Community College. All right, let's talk about Phase Zero One, data organization. If you've been in any classes of me, especially if you've done programming logic or Java or some other program, you often hear me use this phrase over and over again: small, manageable chunks. When you look at a big project, you want to treat it in small, manageable chunks. That's why I broke this project down into phases. Phase zero one is just data organization, getting the stuff from Topsy into your report. So, in this video, we're going to just get the information from Autopsy into our report for Microsoft Excel. Now, understand, even though we're doing data organization, if we pick up tidbits of information, why don't we just put that in the document, and later on we can, when we get into phase 02 and we're really deep diving into stuff and we're analyzing stuff, the stuff is already there. Let's talk about images. Images, if you think about this nowadays, we're all carrying around cameras, video, cell phones, smartphones, and everything. And those smartphones are taking a lot of pictures. I've often joked in classrooms that probably in the first 35, 40 years of my life, if I really, really think about it, there's probably three, maybe 400 photos of me. And even that may sound a lot. Probably up till 25, 100, 200 photos. And I'm talking class photos, family photos. We took the normal photos, but, taking photography was expensive. You had to go buy the film, you had to develop and stuff like that. And I think that's normal for people. I hate to use this term, for people of my generation. Starting in 2005 or even the 2000s, we all started buying digital cameras by 2007, 2008. We're taking pictures with our phone. I probably have 300 photos from last week. I think the last time I count on my phone, about 4,000 photos. I mean, what am I taking photos of? Everything, right? I even take photos instead of taking notes. So if I go someplace and I see something of interest, maybe I'm shopping, grocery shopping, and I'm curious about, a cut of meat for dinner. I'll take a photo of it and I'll text it over to my wife, and she'll say fine or whatever. And my wife and I are constantly sharing photos and this. So photos have really become a exponential growth in files with photos. So we have to be really careful with photos. Now, in the demonstration I'm going to do, I created a whole bunch of photos across different platforms with different utilities just to take a look. When you work with your USB drive, there's going to be some slight considerations that we're going to have with the photos. For example, I want more than just the metadata. If it has what's called the analysis results data, you're going to have to include that. And you'll see me do that in this demonstration. But even without doing this forensics, I want you to start thinking about all the photos that are being taken. And, yes, we have to go through this. If we're a forensics investigator, we have to go into those photos. And what's the old adage about a picture's worth 1,000 words? Well, guess what? Okay, let's go to my screen. And this is my photo folder. Now, I did a couple things. Again, obviously, I organized this, and we're not going to go through all my photos, right? But I used several different cameras. I used a GoPro, which is an action camera that takes video, but it also takes still. I had an old Canon PowerShot that doesn't do GPS, but it still takes some nice photos. Nikon, what's it called? DSLR, digital single lens reflexive camera. The iPhone. Think about all the photos on your phone. Most of us don't even have extra cameras. iPhone's going to be a big one. And then I have a little Sony ZV-E10, which is a blogging camera. Now, what's interesting about the Sony ZV-E10, it's actually the camera that I'm using to film this. Its native mode does not capture GPS, but if I hook up or I sync it up with my phone and my phone is near the camera, it will put the GPS. Now that's important because when you're investigating, you guys aren't going to do this in your report, but in a true investigation, you need to know what camera you're using to see what characteristics that camera may be. Like I said, the native Sony ZV-E10 does not use GPS, does not have GPS built into it. But if I coordinate it with my with my smartphone, oh, absolutely, it'll then record the GPS. But what do you call it? My iPhone, it has everything. It's gonna have GPS and all the other wonderful altitude, etc. So we're not gonna go through all the photos because there's a lot there. We're gonna choose and pick some just to kind of look and get a general feel. Well, you know what? Let's start with the iPhone since that's the one that most, not just the iPhone, but any of the Galaxies, any of the smartphones, that's where you're going to get a lot of your data imaging. We're using a USB drive, but in reality, we would confiscate a phone and do all what we've been doing with the USB drive. Let's take a look at the different images. We have a deleted image. If I say here, okay, just kind of do a cursory, I can tell it's deleted because of the X. I have another photo. If I look at the file metadata, yep, this is normal. And if we data analysis, we can see that it was taken by an Apple iPhone 10. There's the latitude and longitude. Now, we don't get into this, but certain cameras are fixed focal length camera. Would mean no matter what you do, you're always going to take the same angle, perspective, and stuff like that. For example, the GoPro, it tends to be a fixed thing. Now you can zoom not mechanically, but software-wise, zoom and zoom out. But some cameras may be fixed. The iPhone, I don't tend to zoom too much, but I would see the zoom if I was here. Alrighty, so let's document and organize. We haven't gotten into analysis yet. So let's do with the deleted one first. All right, we're going to open this up. If you've watched any of my videos before, the name of this file is MG_8434 JPEG. Remember, images come in different formats. All right. So it's _MG8434.jpg. That underscore you'll often see with deleted files. Some operating systems, when it deletes the files, it'll put a special character in the front of that name. All right, let's grab some information associated with it. We'll go to metadata. You see me do this. Let me strip out formatting. Put the metadata in there. And for photos, because it's deleted, it doesn't have analysis result. But for photos, if we can see the photo, now this particular one's not showing me the photo, so we're kind of a little bit out of luck there. But the other ones, we can make sure we put our name here, and we're going to put the hash values, etc. Here we might say later on, we may have to go digging for that photo, right? So right now, we're going to leave that alone. We can't see it with a Topsy right now, but maybe there's methods. Maybe in our analysis, we could undelete it. Take that photo, bring it some other place, undelete it, and then we can take a look at it. All right? Let's take a look at this one. All right, this one does have, let's document it. IMG 8432 JPEG. Put it here. 84. IMG 8432 JPEG. All right. Now, I am going to put the native image in here. That's our Lakeland clock tower. All right. And the hash values we'll put in when we analyze this. And let's get the metadata file. All right. And for photos, I do want, when it's applicable, meaning if it's available, I want you to do the analysis results, because that's where it's going to put any GPS coordinates or any kind of information considering the device. Let's strip out the formatting. All right. And put that in there with the metadata. All right. And in previous, let me zoom in this, expand this a little bit. In this one, I'm going to highlight that we have some latitude and longitude. And we would just keep doing this with all the photos. And this could take a while when it comes to photos. Now, again, I'm going to keep stressing this on your USB drive. I'm going to say about 30 total files, 24 to maybe 30 total files. And you're going to have to do this with all these particular files. I know I was a little shorter on this video. I didn't go through all the particular things with the photos because we're going to save that when we get into the analysis. So we have a pretty good jump on, wrap this up with images. We've got a pretty good jump on just organizing our data. And that's a big step, because the next step, we're gonna keep Autopsy open, but we're gonna be working more with the report. So we'll be flashing back and forth between Autopsy and report. We're gonna be doing things like getting the executive summary or description, any particular notes, if we could be stripping some things out. So let's keep making progress, and away we go.